Hola, good people, and welcome back to We Are the New Normal. I'm Sam. Thanks for coming to see me today. Um, I'm in a bit of a somber mood, and it's because I am probably going through the tail end of my storm. So we're going to talk about storms today. Um, it's that type of thing that nobody really wants to go through. However, if we're smart, we know that it's usually on the other side of that storm that we get what we've been hoping for. We get what we've been working for. We get what we've been asking for. It's like everybody says, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. So you have to go through these storms for a couple of reasons. I don't claim to be an expert on how we got here, why we're here, the meaning of life. But I do think that while we are here, one of the goals should always be to better yourself and to learn. Never, ever, ever stop learning. I remember, getting to a point in my life where, I was 40 something and, I figured I had been through enough storms and, I had it figured out. I got this, Oh yeah, I learned my life lessons and I'm a bigger, better person and I'm good and I got this life thing handled. Then something totally unexpected got thrown in my path. Like, oh yeah, you okay? You all right? Let's see. So another storm was thrown in my path, not to stumble me. It is not, we do not come upon storms to be stumbled. I don't think that's ever the goal of any higher power, is not to stumble you. As with your parents, they want to see you do well. If it is a loving God, whoever God that you believe in, whatever energy or spirit that you believe is controlling things, I don't believe that spirit to be any type of spirit that would rejoice in seeing you stumble. However, sometimes allowing you to stumble will also allow you to rise. So we think about when you are raising kids. You can tell them all day long, don't touch the stove. Don't touch the stove. Don't touch the stove. What does that do? It's like you said, touch the stove, please. It just, piques their interest even more. So after you've said it 50 times, don't touch the stove. You see them reaching for the stove one day and you decide, you know what? I'm going to zip my lip. I'm not going to say anything. And it's in that time when they reach for the stove and they burn themselves that the lesson that you tried to instill by talking them to death, they learned in an instant all on their own. So that is to say that whatever higher power you believe is in control, whether it be you, if you believe that you are God and you encompass everything that God has, or you have a belief that there is some higher being that is totally in control, do you want the worst for yourself? No. So if you are God or you are part of God, you wouldn't want the worst for yourself. You would want the best for yourself. And I believe that any higher power that has created us would want the best for us. So that is to say that instead of when you are faced with a storm saying, why me? As in, why did this happen to me? This is terrible. You might want to say, why me? As in, what is it that I have to learn as to why I'm in this storm? And that's the honest, long and short of it. Storms come to you to teach you lessons that you either avoid and you've seen the red signs, the red flags, or you feel it in your heart that it's something that you need to work on and you avoid it. That storm will be brought to you in a flash to say, you know what, you got to stop acting like you're not going to deal with it. You're going to deal with it today. Other than that, you get storms And like I said, you should say, why me? What is it that brought this storm to me? What is it that I'm supposed to get out of it when I come out on the other side of the storm? That is the most important thing, because you have to realize that there is no evil entity out there that is sending you evil. I believe that everything is balanced. It's not necessarily good and bad. I think there's black and white. There's opposing views, polar opposites, whatever, but it's not necessarily good or bad, because some of the worst experiences, or some of the experiences that we label bad, taught us the biggest lessons that made us our best selves. So once again, we know that it is all in how you think about things. So this is how you should think about your storm. No one's really going to rejoice in the storm. That's a bit stretching it. But honestly, you should. You should rejoice in knowing that this lesson is going to be presented to you face to face. It's going to be no question. You're going to make it through it. And then on the other side, are you going to make the same decisions that you always make and start that cycle all over again? Or are you going to make a different decision and get a different outcome? So storms are created by us. It is our storm. It is our mess. It is our shadows. It is our demons that we have manifested and then pushed them aside. We have chosen to pull it outside of ourselves and then push it over there. It's still there though. And one day it's going to find you and you are going to have to deal with it. So everything happens in the right time and space. So when the storm comes to you, ride it out, and in the storm, stay strong and try to pay attention to why you are in this storm and what you are supposed to get out of it. Like I said, we never ever stop learning in life. Life will continually present us with lessons. The lesson that you learned at 5, you're not going to learn at 17. The lesson you learn at 25, you're not going to learn at 60. And if you make it to 85, 90, believe me, there will be brand new lessons to learn at that age as well. We never master this life thing to the point that we can't learn something else. So lessons and storms will always, always come. The thing to take out of it is it has come for a reason. You got to put on your raincoat, put on your galoshes, get your umbrella, and get out in that storm. Get out in it. Experience it. Open your eyes. Take it all in so that that's the last time you see that storm. I don't want to keep coming across the same storm over and over again, because there's already going to be other storms when I make it through this one. So I don't want to keep going through the same storm over and over again. And if you don't want to keep going over the same storm over and over again, you have to look at the lesson within the storm. And believe me, as much as we would like to blame our lives and our circumstances on, excuse me, that's my phone, I apologize. As much as we would like to blame our circumstances on other people, external influences, your job, or you didn't go to school, or you didn't have opportunities, or whatever. Not that any of those reasons are not valid. However, what are you going to do about it? It may be the truth, but you still have to do what you need to do to learn your life lessons and make yourself better. All of this stuff that you're dealing with, you have created for yourself. And once you realize that, it makes you stop blaming others. It makes you stop blaming things. And it makes you do the only thing else that you can do, which is look at you. When you take everyone else out of it, it forces you to look at yourself, and it forces you to look at how you possibly created the situation that has now blown up in your face. It's not nice. It's not fun, but it is extremely beneficial if you pay attention. Not fun. I'm not having a good time, but I am thankful for the wisdom that I am gaining as I go through this storm. And I know I'm at the tail end. I know I'm almost through it. But sometimes it's that tail end that's going to whip you. You know, I've been making it through now, and I'm trying not to be afraid of the, the climax. We're not going to talk about fear. Maybe I'll do a whole nother video on fear, because fear is a doozy. So I'm trying to stay strong within this storm and pay attention to what I did to create this storm for myself, so that, I don't do that again. So that I can find my life lesson, learn it, and level up. Move on to the next level. Believe me, there will be harder, more complex, more difficult, more life-changing, more pivotal lessons to be learned in your life. And this is just preparing you for that. You can't just skip from, your tricycle to, a Suzuki, motorcycle. There's steps, and the steps are there to help you gradually get to where you need to be. It's like when you see these people with gauges in their ear. Although some of them do cut it and put it in there, most of them start at a small gauge, and eventually, you can have a huge gauge in your ear. Didn't disrupt their life. They were able to still do what they had to do because it was done gradually. It was done step by step to prepare you for this huge thing that you would, have to carry. If you just went from A to Q, that might be a little difficult. But if you went A, B, C, D, by the time you got to Q, you're going to knock it out the park. So just believe that the storm that you are going through, you are prepared to handle. Pay attention. Learn the lesson. Realize that you brought it to yourself. And also realize that there is something that you can do about it. All right? So thank you guys once again for coming to see me. I'm semi in my sunshine. But the gem that I'm going to drop on you today is actually a quote by Haruki Murakami. And it says, "When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in." That's what this storm's all about. So let that melt on your mind. Thank you everyone once again for coming to see me. Let's all be strong and brave in the lessons that we're learning. Be grateful for what we're learning, because wisdom only makes us better and stronger. So stay strong with me, and I'll stay strong with you. Thank you once again for coming to see me. Come and see me again next time. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share if it's helped you and you think that it can help someone else. By all means, share it. And ring the bell so that you can be notified every time I make a new video. So once again, thank you everybody for coming to see me. And remember, you are good people. Have a good life.